Give me one moment. Howdy YouTube, what is good? My name is Miss Hurricane, the queen of the internet. I am not perfect, but here's the thing. Let's let this be a rags to riches stories. I'm gonna be real. I come from very humble beginnings. And this story was one of the most humbling of them all. Martin, are you listening to the story? I have one of my friends on here with me.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna record because your girl wants to get out of the trenches. And I told myself a hurricane needs to start from the bottom of the trench and make its way up to the clouds. And I just really want to be one of those testimonies where, hey, shorty, hey, king, hey, queen, if I can do it, you can do it. And, I really hope YouTube can be that platform where one day I could be like, my mom and dad are retired. Thank you so much. So, yo, what's good? Yo, hey, hello, bonjour, bienvenidos. Bonsoir. I don't know. Okay, so I was telling Martin, most of my early YouTube videos are probably going to be story times. I have so much shit that happened. So, I gave him the option between Boat Boy. I crawled out of his vehicle. I went on a date with a male porn star. The boys took me to a strip club. My ex-boyfriend's mom put a knife out. Her cat attacked me while pet sitting. Miss Vengeful. And, of course, there's going to be some wholesome stories, too, like my first date or the best date of my life, the worst date. I'm here to give you stories. If my time ever comes short, just know I love you. And, if you ever miss me, hey, these videos are here for you. And, who knows? I'm a just affirm it. Your story, your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly really does impact somebody's lives. May it be for entertainment here on YouTube, or may it be like you could just tell your story of what happened. Me being me, I'm just going to be grateful for whatever comes my way. And right now, I'm going to just keep it real. I'm all I could think about is YouTube. Ever since I was little, that's another story on how I found YouTube. I'm just gonna tell stories on how I found a lot of shit. But that's besides the point. This is the story, kings and queens, of how I went on a date with a male porn star. You here for it, Martin? Are you still there? Martini. Earth to Martin. This dude's at the Monarch, where Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are staying at. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah.
Are you actually gonna listen to the story? Okay. He's listening while he's working out. All right. Once upon a time, your girl was working as one of the main bartenders at a restaurant. Really loved my job. Really, really loved my job. I was making so much alcohol. I was like, yes, I'm just whipping it up here at the bar. Doing my thing. Shawty make it tips. Shawty living the best life. Got my cute work outfit going on. Yes. It was a beautiful day. I was just vibing. I was like, hell yeah. I'm like, me, a cute bartender. Nobody fell in love, because once you do, you're never going back. So I was just another day at the bar. I'm like, introducing myself, meeting everybody, getting their orders right, taking the orders back in case they didn't like it. Too much seasoning. All right, that's fine. I'll take it right back. I need more meat. All right, I'll go ask the chef. They want more meat. My chef says something else. That's funny. Get the plate, more meat. Here you go. So I'm at the POS system. I'm just closing out for the night. I have like an hour or two before my shift's over. This lovely, beautiful white man looks so Florida-like. Has like this, what kind of jacket? Has a jacket on. It's like green, grayish. Has his hat backwards. He comes to sit at the bar. He's like, give me a draft beer. I'm like, okay. Here's your draft beer. He's like, hey, I'm going to be real with you. I'm an alcoholic. And I'm like, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to have to put you on a limit. And he starts asking me questions like, what's your name? Where are you from? I'm like, I'm Alejandra. But they call me Hurricane. And I was like, you should definitely try the Hurricane drink here. He's like, no, I'm into the dark draft beer. I'm like, okay. So, I'm asking him. So, like, what's your name? Give me a name, Martin. What should we call him? Because, I don't want to put him out there like that. He was named after a state. I remember your name. If you ever see this video, I'm like, I remember your name. One of the prettiest guys I've ever met. I can't. I don't know what to call him. But what do I call him? I don't know what to call him. But I can't just put him out like that. Let's see. Let's see. What should we call him? I can't just say his name. All right. Let's just call him Porn Star. So he starts asking me questions like, what do you look for in a guy? And I'm like, honestly, I'm too busy bartending, just trying to survive. Like, kind of don't want a boyfriend. He's like, what are you doing after this? Mind you, I had nothing going on with my life after this shift. Nothing. I was just going to go home, mind my business, probably go to sleep. And he's just like, let's go do something. He's like, what do you want to go do? I'm like, to be honest, I haven't gone bowling in a while. I haven't done anything fun in a while. I've just been working like nonstop. And I was just like, there's this place like right down the street where they have like arcades, bowling, and like food. He's like, why don't I take you after the shift? And like 2 hours passed of us just getting to know each other. Mad flirting, nonstop flirtation. And so he wouldn't tell me his profession until later. And so, I'm just serving him alcohol. We're flirting back and forth. And I'm just like fairly impressed with this dude on how much he's like into me. And so I'm like, hey, my shift's almost over. I've had an amazing time getting to know you. And like, you seem pretty cool. You seem like you've traveled a lot. Because he said he was going state to state, but wouldn't tell me why. And so it's time for me to close up. This man left me a $200 tip. He left me a $200 tip. I'm like, he's not a brokey. Yay! So I wasn't involved in the porn industry at all. I had nothing to deal with that. I was like so pure. I was just your average bartender. And so, mind you, he still didn't tell me his profession, right? And so he comes, picks me up, pulls up to the front of the restaurant, and he's just like, "You ready for a date?" And I was like, "Ooh." I was honestly a little shy. Like, I hadn't been on a date in a while. Like, your girl was hustling, just day-to-day bartending, doing what she got to do to survive, right? Pulls up in the brand new red SUV. Brand new. I'm like, how the fuck? I didn't have a car at this point. I didn't get a car until now. Lost a car, by the way. That's a whole other story. But hopefully YouTube can help me out. Not begging. I'm just saying, like, if someone just pulled up with, like, a cute car on it and it was, like, already paid for, you just got to pay for the gas. I'm going to be like, there is such thing as good people. I want to be able to say that for the rest of my life. I want to say that for the rest of my life. There is good people on this planet. I just want to say that for the rest of my life, right? He was one of them. Let me $200 tip. I'm yours for the night. But I was so nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you. If he ever watches this video, he's like, "Hey, that's me. That's me." He knew I was nervous. Like, I was really afraid to go on a date. He wasn't creepy. He wasn't scary. He was so cool. Coolest, one of the coolest men I've ever met. Whoever he marries or whoever he bleeps, you met a good man. And so we're enjoying the arcade. We're having fun. We're getting to know each other, right? And the restaurant was closing up at this place. And I'm just, like, trying to allow myself to enjoy this date. But, like, again, like, I guess I was afraid of falling in love. I don't know. I was just really nervous because, like, I'm always nervous on a date. Always nervous when, like, I have a guy because I'm like, I've gone through so much shit. And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay to talk to these guys. And so we're talking, and he ends up like, "Hey, you hungry, beautiful?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What are you in the mood for?" I'm like, "Let's go to IHOP." And he's like, "What do you do for fun?" You know, I tell him, like, all the sports I'm into. And I was honest with him, like, it's been a long time since I played these things, done these things. Like, I'm just at work. He's like, "What's the goal?" I'm like, "I'm just like you. I'm trying to, like, get this vehicle." And on the drive there, I'm like, "You know what? You know, I'm a bartender. You know where I work. Like, how long are you going to stay here in Texas for?" He's like, "I'm not going to stay here for long. You know, I have my," he wouldn't tell me what his job was. He was, like, ashamed of telling me his job. And I'm like, "Be honest. What do you really do?" I'm like, "How did you, like," because it blew my mind. Like, I'm a bartender. Like, it's going to take me a while to save up for a vehicle. Like, most of my money goes into Uber and stuff and, like, paying for groceries at home. And he's just like, I had to ask, like, more than 5 times, like, "Hey, what do you do? What do I got to do to get a fully paid car?" And he's like, "You wouldn't do it." I'm like, you don't know that. I'm like, "What do you do? Mechanic?" No. He's like, "I'm really ashamed to admit this because I don't want to scare you away." Like, "What are you, a murderer?" He's like, "No, I'm not a murderer. No, I'm not a murderer." I'm like, "Okay, good, because I did not need a Ted Bundy episode." And he's like, "You watch true crime?" I'm like, "Yeah, I watch true crime." And I'm like, "No, but for real, like I said, it was taking me too long to get the answer. Like, what do you do? How are you stable?" He's like, I'm a porn star." I'm like, "Oh." Martin laughed. Did you just say embarrassing? That's hilarious. He's like, "I'm a porn star." I'm like, "Shit." He's like, "I told you I didn't want to tell you." I'm like, "No, honey, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that." He's like, "What? What?" I'm like, "Shit. I mean, like, you fucking people and you able to get a new car." I'm like, "Must be nice. Must be nice. You got courage." And he's like, "Yeah, the car's great." I'm like, "Does your family know about this?" Mind you, I'm not saying his name. And, you know, he probably knows more details from his side about, like, every single word we said. But, like, I'm taking from, like, the major points of what I can remember. Because I didn't have the confidence to be on camera until today, right? Don't listen to Martin. To the actual porn star, if you see this, I enjoyed our date. I just wish I wasn't a little bitch at the time. I'm just gonna be real. I wish I enjoyed that date more. Than looking back on it, it was one of the best dates. Thank you. You showed me what it's like not to date a bro boy. Thank you. I just wish you could have stayed in town longer. Nothing happened between us, by the way, viewers. We didn't sleep together. We just enjoyed the day. Like he had to leave the next day. So I'm at IHOP, and I'm curious as fuck. I'm asking like how many people you fuck, the number. Not gonna say the number. I'm like, where have you shot this? He's like, I shot all over the country. And I'm like, wow, you really out here doing this. Mind you, I wasn't judging him. I was like oddly fascinated. I'm like, cool. Cause like I thought he was gonna be stuck up. I thought he was gonna be like such a jerk. Ladies, he was one of the most gentlemen of gentlemen. Made me feel like a queen. I'm like, damn. It made me start to think. I'm like, so this is why porn stars get married. And I don't remember if I told him that, but I was just cracking up jokes to make him smile. But like, I just, okay. How do I say this? At this time in my life, I just wish I had enjoyed his company more than I allowed myself to, because I was like really afraid to fall in love. I'm like, wow, this is like a porn star. I'm like, how many bitches are in his DMs right now? Like, a lot, right? And so I'm just like showing him so much gratitude. Like, thank you so much for getting me these pancakes. Thank you so much for the ride. I just wish you could have stayed longer. And mind you, like, I don't think I even got his number. I think I got his number, but like so many times my phone got like taken or like destroyed. I couldn't contact him. I wouldn't even know where to find him on the internet unless he comments on this shit like, hey, what's up? But at the same time, like, don't expose yourself, honey. Don't expose yourself. I mean, you're already exposed, but like, not in a bad way, If you're watching this porn star, like, you gave me one of the best nights of my life. Like, that IHOP date was funny. Like, you're just an interesting person. And so he's like, yeah, would you ever date a porn star? I'm like, you wouldn't even be home. Like, how would I date you? Like, I'm a bartender. Like, you're more well off than I am. And he's just like, that doesn't mean we can't keep in touch. Mind you, ladies, I don't know what happened, but my phone and his phone number were just no longer existent in my life after that. And so, yeah, that's when I went on a date with a male porn star. And he was just so gentle. Like, he didn't force me into sex. He didn't, actually, that's a lie. He didn't force sex onto me. He's like, would you be down to, if, I got a hotel room? I'm going to be like, I work tomorrow. And he's like, man, but I leave tomorrow. I'm like, maybe in another time and space when I'm famous, you can like pull up and we can talk. So yeah. That's me dating a male porn star. I went on a date with a male porn star. Did he? I don't remember if I took an Uber back home or like he dropped me off. All I know was, hands down, I hope that dude is still successful right now. I really do. He's told me he was gonna head to Florida, and that was the last time I ever thought of him. I went to Florida years later. Couldn't find him around the world. No. I don't know his information, by the way. So don't ask me, hey, where's his videos? I lost contact. All I'm saying was I went on a date with a male porn star, and he was more nicer than all the other dudes I went on a date with. Is that weird, Martin? Hello?
You said
Do you find it weird that a porn star treated me better than someone with a normal job?
that also makes someone with a normal job.
That a porn star treated me better than people with a normal job. I just got done with that. What?
So do I think that's weird?
Yes.
Not really.
So yeah, ladies. Maybe your future husband's a porn star. He asked me would I be comfortable dating someone who like does that. And I was honest with him. I'm like, in that moment of time, I said no. In that moment of time, I said no. Like, you full on do it with like people on camera, right? Of course, I've asked further questions, but I'm not going to get into those details. And he's like, yeah, I've done it. It's kind of how I fund my life. I'm like, I'm going to miss you. He's like, I'm going to miss you too. Went home, and that was the last time I saw the porn star. No action happened. No makeout. Just a lovely date at an arcade and an IHOP. And that's all I needed. And the next day I went back to bartending, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I sat there looking at my POS system, and I was like, man, I wish you just would walk back into the bar and just introduce yourself all over again. But I don't work there anymore. I don't. So yeah, that's one of the dudes that live rent free in my head. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And yeah, don't be ashamed of your profession, and don't be ashamed of whatever your profession is to go on a date. Who knows? Maybe you'll live rent free in someone else's head, and that's all you need. Have a great night.